everyone. It's Katie with First Source, back for another episode of The Source, People with Purpose. And I am joined today with Rachel from the credit union as well. And we're going to get a little weird. We're going to talk about Christmas in July, but a little bit different. It's going to be more about kind of planning and preparing for the holidays starting in July. I know where we are, it feels like summer just started, so it's kind of an interesting topic. But there is some truth into planning and preparing and doing little bits at a time and starting now. It's that whole, what your grandmother used to say, a stitch in time saves nine. So it's kind of that starting ahead of time. You didn't even know that.
You got me beat on that one. I'm so sorry to make you feel old off the bat, but
okay. But is that like baby steps now can make it feel not overwhelming for the holidays? And I was just saying I just should have wore a Santa hat. That would have been, really getting in the spirit. But
right on the Bible.
Okay, so let's just talk about little things that you can do now to start to get ready so that those holidays don't feel so overwhelming.
Yeah, I loved when you proposed this topic to me because you know me personally, I'm a very type A person. So planning is right up my alley. I feel like as a society, we have all these cool things that we can implement when it comes to spending, right? That buy now, pay later mentality. But by doing this sort of thing and really starting to prep in July, you have 5 months in advance that you can go ahead and say, hey, instead of that buy now, pay later, I'm going to plan now and I'm going to buy later. So when thinking of this topic, it really is crucial to have some sort of budget, right? Starting there with a list. Who do I want to buy for? How much do I think I could even save by come December 25th, So, and there's a lot that goes into the holiday season, right? It's not just gifts. It's, are you traveling? Are you a part of a cookie exchange? That's something that I thought of because that's what my family does, and that gets pricey. So thinking of all the little nuances that come in with holidays, it's really important to start there.
For sure. I know if you are seeing things and you're out and about, sometimes it's good to just kind of grab things as you go. Then you're not waiting until, November, December and scrambling. So as silly as it sounds, as you're out and about now, if you are on a vacation, if you are doing those things, tons of craft fairs are happening.
So many craft fairs.
Over the summer, sidewalk sales, things like that. Grab kind of bits here and there, but know what you got and know where you're putting it, because then you don't want to also overbuy and be like, I have all this stuff and I don't need all of it, right? So it's that idea of getting bits and pieces at a time as you see them so that it's not, so overwhelming.
Right. And make sure they're planned bits and pieces, because I like how you alluded to even if it's a sale, doesn't mean you're saving money at the end of the day if you're not actually going to use that item. That's something that my husband hounds me about, right? Sure. It's not a sale item if it's not a planned item, at the end of the day.
Oh, I love that. Yes. It's not a sale item if it's not a planned item.
Yeah, my mother,
that's good.
My mother-in-law and I are very much like that. Like if it's a deal, we get, you get that rush of like, ooh, it's on sale, I'm saving money, but not necessarily if you're just spending additional money as well. And get crafty with your gifts as well. I am one who loves a good garage sale, a good estate sale. Go there secondhand. We have so many amazing thrift stores and antique stores where we live that you can go get something at a discount, not only for a gift, but also like the wrapping paper, right? The ribbons, the bows, all of that. That adds up.
I am an avid bag reuser. Bags and tissue paper, always. If they're not ripped, if they're in good condition, they're getting saved and they're getting reused.
Because why not, right? No one's going to remember, right. Oh, I gave Katie this with the green bow. I can't believe she gave it back to me. It's not that big of a deal, and it saves you money at the end of the day. And I've been to so many garage sales even this summer where there's bins of wrapping paper for Christmas. And I have friends who even if they don't want to buy the wrapping paper itself, they'll use you go to Price Chopper, you get those paper bags. You can deconstruct those and they'll paint on them and use that as their wrapping paper.
And it's fun.
And it's unique. It's something different.
Yeah, I love that. Tell me a little bit about the 52-week savings challenge, because that's something that we could implement in order to help plan and prepare.
Yeah. So with a 52-week savings challenge, or really any challenge, that whole goal is to motivate you to be saving a little at a time that will kind of add up to a bigger lump sum. So unfortunately, we don't have 52 weeks from today until Christmas, but still that same mindset of putting a little bit away that will add up to a bigger sum at the end. And honestly, on that topic, automation's your friend, right? Make your life easy. If you know that, hey, I'm going to do this savings challenge where I'm going to put away $50 per paycheck. Make it automated so you don't have to think about it. Every time that your paycheck hits, have that automated $50 go to, say, like a Christmas share or a holiday share. It's something that you can open to really help categorize things visually for you so you know this specific money is for the holidays.
That's perfect. So that 52-week savings challenge, when it originally came out, the idea was there are 52 weeks in a year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start in January and you put away $1 a week and increase it by dollar increments, you have over $1,000 by the end of the year. So week 1 is $1, week 2 is $2, week 3 is $3, etc. You can also do the savings challenge backwards. You can start week 1 with $52, start like week 2, 51, week 3, 50, etc. as your savings. So if my math is correct, which is always sketchy, people who know me, I believe that we're going to be about 22 weeks before Christmas. So if you did that $1 and you added another $1 in weekly increments, we would be a little over $280. And while that may not seem like a lot, it's still almost $300 that you didn't have that you would be ready by that week of Christmas. So, to your point, you move that money into a goal, whatever you want to call it, holiday, club, whatever, and put it into that sub-share. And then let's talk about how we can boost that. We can add to it whatever else we might be able to cut and save in our budget. So what are some little things that we can be doing now to help us save and put that money towards that holiday?
So there's a lot of things, especially when you do a budget when you're starting out. That's why I really think that's the step one. And I do a lot of presentations on financial literacy. And when you bring out that word budget, people are like, oh no, a budget. You get the groans in the room. But in my opinion, a budget really puts you in the driver's seat of your finances, because no matter what walk of life you're in, you're going to have to deal with money. And it's important to know where it's going, so then you can do things like cut. So if I sit down, I do a budget, I say, oh, I'm spending a lot of money on my Dunkin' Donuts. Maybe that's something that I can cut and even find an alternative for, right? Maybe I can make my coffee at home. Or if you work somewhere where you can make your coffee at work like we do, right? Every department has a Keurig and it's wonderful. You just pop in the pod and you're ready to go. And it helps you save money that way. And really, now is a great time to audit subscriptions as well. Because I have found myself kind of in that spiral of like, oh, I have this subscription. I signed up for the free trial, but then I never canceled it. And now it's just going through and being
just
pulled.
runs. Yeah.
So you really have to be aware and on top of it. And that's where the budget comes into play, when you audit everything that you have going out. So you can make those tough decisions of, okay, what can I cut back on? But also another cool thing is credit cards, right? A lot of people have credit cards and you want to be mindful with them, but some have really great rewards built in or cash back. I know growing up and to this day, that's how my mom gives gift cards for the holiday season. She'll text us kids and say, hey, is there something specific you want a gift card for? She'll look at it if it's on her credit card app, if she can redeem it that way. And it helps her save a lot of money come holiday season. So doing that deep dive audit on subscriptions of where your money's going, but also your credit cards as well, can really put you in a better financial standing.
That's perfect. I love that idea of using your rewards points to cash in on gift cards and then use those as gifts. That's an awesome idea. So thank you for sharing that one. That's great. Talking about subscriptions, I actually just did it. I
really?
Actually went into Spectrum, didn't even call, went into our local Spectrum and chatted with them about where our bill was and where we wanted it to be. And they were awesome. They were like, what speed do you need for your internet? What are you using today? What can we do? And they brought our bill right down. I mean, I've been paying the same amount for years. I'm like, why didn't I ask sooner?
You don't know if you don't ask.
You don't know if you don't ask. And so it was wonderful. So that's a great thing, is to just look at those. And again, it can't hurt to ask. What's the worst that someone says is you got to stay where you are and you're already paying it?
They say no.
But I mean, if you ask and they can bring it down, that's really helpful. So what I like to tell people is don't forget to take that next step. So what I am now spending less on my Spectrum bill, what am I doing with that money? That's where we say, okay, we started this, we'll call it a 22-week challenge. We started putting money aside in there. Am I taking monthly for the next few months that money I'm saving on that bill and putting it into that savings goal subshare or whatever that looks like? That's that next piece, right? Okay, normally I eat lunch out every day of the week. And this week I decided to make my own lunch from home. Look how much I saved. Take that dollar amount and don't forget to move it over. That's how you're building those funds. Because if it's just sitting in your money management account, which is usually a checking account, you're more likely to spend it and you're more likely to not see a difference. You're not seeing that goal rise. If you take the time to transfer that money, move it over, you're going to see that goal rise. And I don't know about you, but most people, that's that instant gratification. You're seeing those dollars go up. It's just like seeing your weight go down. If that's a goal for you, whatever that looks like, that's that incentive to keep getting excited about it. And then sometimes it becomes a game. What can I save this week? What can I save this weekend? What can I do? And you challenge yourself.
I was going to say, because with the 52-week challenge too, it's like you can do challenges, whatever works best for you. In that instant gratification, a lot of people are looking for that, right? We're a now society. So seeing that number go up is such an amazing, amazing feeling.
So share with us just a couple of the other tips. I love to talk about the meals. I started a little bit with the lunches and making a lunch at home, but I know you've got more for us.
In terms of like the meal planning, the prepping and all of that. So you're really diving deep into my type A. I like it. So again, I'm a woman who loves a plan, and that really goes for meals as well, right? We all eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, but if you have a plan, you use what's in your pantry first, that could really help save. Like when my husband and I do our weekly meal prep, I'll go to the pantry, I'll go to the freezer, you write down what you do have and what you can really make based on what you already have. That can help you save a lot of money. And I'm not going to lie, I rely a lot on ChatGPT to fill in those gaps, right? If I don't know what to make with something, you type it into Google search, it may be a Pinterest, whatever you have, and it comes up with great ideas for you. And then when going shopping, really think about where you're shopping, because prices vary a lot depending on the store, but also with the brand, right? Are you really loyal to that brand, or could you make an adjustment to save those extra couple dollars or cents, what have you? And couponing. I was deep into the coupon phase. I was that kid who took over our grocery shopping when I was in high school, like my junior, senior year. I'm like, Mom, you have a lot on your plate. Let me take it. I got it. I had a binder. I clipped the coupons. I put them in the binder. I went shopping. And very much like the savings challenge, you get kind of a thrill out of it. Like, oh, I've saved this much money. But again, with that savings, what are you going to do with it at the end of the day? Mm-hmm.
And so along with that, meals at home, if you can't, sometimes you do have to eat out or get takeout or what have you. Cut the Uber Eats, cut the DoorDash.
Yes, those get very, very pricey, especially with like the extra taxes, the out-of-area delivery fees. They add up very quickly.
I don't use it very often, but I had, someone who was using it a little bit more frequently, and we were looking at it together. They were spending almost double. I mean, if you're in an emergency situation, understandable, and it's wonderful that that resource is there for us. It's wonderful that it's providing jobs for those drivers, et cetera. But I mean, if you can just drive and pick it up yourself for that takeout, and you're going to spend almost half of what you would spend if you DoorDashed it or something like that, I don't know. To me, that's just silly and simple math. I mean, that's money in your pocket, and these are challenging times.
For
So,
sure.
that's definitely something to think about. I know another one of your favorites is date night in. Tell me about that.
Yes, I love a good date night in. My husband and I, every Wednesday is our date night. So we just had one yesterday. And, I feel like as a society, sometimes we think grander is better. But simple times together, whether it's with a spouse or a partner or even friends, where you really get that opportunity to connect, is really what it is at the end of the day. So date night in, maybe we've done like paint and sips at home. You can find videos online where you can do them yourselves. My husband really loves a good puzzle. Go to the thrift store, pick up a puzzle. It's an added challenge if you're missing some pieces,
Completely. I may have been known to cut cardboard and color it to match the puzzle and put in a missing piece.
Wow, that is dedication.
Yes. It was awesome. It was a huge Star Wars. It was like a Mandalorian. It was awesome. Baby Grogu, the whole thing. And we knew that we were missing a piece because our dog ate it.
Oh, goodness.
So when we were all done, we were like, well, there's the missing thing. And I did.
You're like, I can fix this. Do not worry.
In case anyone wanted to know what happens at my house. So I just want to get back to, again, wrapping this up. The whole idea was what we can do now to plan and prepare. And while we use the idea of Christmas in July and planning for the holidays now so that you're not so stressed out, you can really do this for anything. It could be February and you're planning a major vacation in August and you need to plan and prepare and save for that. So it's the same kind of thing. You can use it really for anything. These are just best practices to have in your pocket. And then the other thing to look for, again, just in savings, especially, we know that there's a Cyber Monday. We know that there's a Black Friday. Don't forget Small Business Saturday, where we can support local. If you plan and prepare ahead of time of the type of things you can purchase on those days, then if you can, just wait to get them then, because they're going to be helpful. One thing that I didn't even know of, a friend of mine was telling me that on Cyber Monday, she used to plan all her vacations for the following year because on Cyber Monday, you're getting discounts on cruises and vacation buys and travels. I never even thought of that before.
Travel Tuesday, where there's a lot of discounts as well. There's a lot of
Travel Tuesday. I didn't even know that existed. What is Travel Tuesday?
So that's where a lot of things go on sale, whether it's flights, whether it's cruises, you name it. You just got to look for it.
In that same vein of like right after Thanksgiving, or is this like every Tuesday?
Nope, not every Tuesday. The one right after Thanksgiving. But also there's a lot of sales that happen not just in that congregated time as well, right? Between now and Christmas, we have Labor Day. There's going to be a Labor Day sale. There's going to be end of summer clear out sales as well. So you can get those really discounted items and save up. And it takes a lot of stress off of you if you do that work prior to December. I know my mother-in-law, she's typically done with her Christmas shopping, by September, October. And I'm always so jealous because then she can actually enjoy the season.
Right.
Time is a gift, and time is a gift in terms of planning for the holidays as well, right? Use it to your advantage when you can. And luckily we're talking about this now, so you can.
Yeah. And to your point, experiences, right? Time is so important. Try to give less stuff. Try to give more experiences. Enjoy that time together. And then maybe there's a souvenir that's gotten at that experience, and that's the tangible takeaway to, remember it. But, that's always a really nice thing to do, because you're right. The time is really the most important, and it goes so fast.
So fast.
Well, thank you. This was great stuff. Do you think we covered all the tips about trying to just kind of plan and prepare?
I feel like we got a lot of them, but there's a lot of tips out there, right, that we could talk for hours and hours about. But no, really starting with a plan and using time on your side, making sure you're taking advantage of the time just so you have that financial wellness at the end of the day and you can actually enjoy the joy and the peace that the holiday seasons are supposed to be a part of, instead of come January 1st or January 2nd when you have that debt or that you have to play catch up, So really use time to your advantage.
That's a huge point. I know I was just trying to wrap up a little bit, but that's a great point, is that not only do you feel prepared for the holidays, you're not going into the new year in debt. And
Exactly.
that's big. So thank you for that reminder, Rachel. That's
You're
great.
welcome. Well, thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun. I was on the way here. It's sunny. It's 75. And I was like, okay, now I have to shift my mindset to think about Christmas on the way in.
Yep. All good. It's fun, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.